Hello and welcome back to this Let's Play series in Crusader Kings 3 Realms in Exile. We're playing the Great Northern Warhost. I think in the last episode we were doing some assassinations for Thranduil and Elrond's sons. We were also doing some colonization in Moria. That's fine. Um, We also noticed that the reunited kingdom has broken up. This doesn't look like it's Mordor's doing. It looks like he lost control of his vassals. Uh, we still have some major issues to deal with here. We'll try and sort them out as we go. Before I continue, please leave a comment, like, subscribe if you're enjoying my series and the rest of my stuff. Uh, I am very grateful for those that do. Uh, but just watching it is fine as well. Now, I had a couple of comments. One of them was regarding traditions, and I think we've missed traditions by about 5 years or so. And at the beginning of the series, I made a bit of a mistake because if we look at the Grazim culture, it's apparent here they have a cultural tradition that allows them to recruit fell warg riders, which are pretty solid light cavalry forces. And I thought we couldn't get access to them because we cannot hybridize with the Grazim culture because they're formed from ours. However, um, we actually do have access to it. It's just not under the regional one. Uh, we do have the Beast Masters under the regional one. However, if we look under the realm one, we do have access to it. It's right here. Uh, Maybe it's connected to having the Kingdom of Gundabad. I'm not entirely sure why I missed it early on. But I think it's thematic that we should have access to them. They're also they also counter skirmishers, archers, and light cavalry. Light cavalry notwithstanding, Key has access to armies that have a lot of skirmishers and archers. And ideally, we need something really good to counter them because that's 20,000 light archers there, another 6,500 crossbowmen, and some 20,000 skirmishers. These are not more bowmen and more skirmishers further down the line, another 3,500 skirmishers there. So we're gonna have some serious issues simply because of the amount of men-at-arms they have. We can see that most of their army is made of men-at-arms. In fact, they only have like 25,000 levies, which is a problem because eventually we're gonna have to fight them. Right now they're fighting with Mordor for that one county. They also have access to an insane amount of great siege engines. So we're in for some serious fighting, and I seriously don't know what we could possibly do about Key at this point. I think they've grown to a point where if they attack us, we might as well just surrender. But we'll try and figure it out as we go. Um, so we can recruit. We will be able to recruit the fell wargs. I am going to adopt this. It's going to be 30 years plus another 50 for the cooldown. Another question was if serving the Balrog requires the adoption of the cult of the Dark Flame or if it rewards it. And if we look here and we view the struggle endings to serve the Balrog, it's going to be a challenge between diplomacy and learning, either one. We gain new unique men-at-arms, become the head of faith. The Balrog may make occasional demands, but we can see here that we have to be an orc. We must not have the Empire title for Servants of the Dark Flame. No dwarf culture counties in the struggle region. At least 18 counties in the region. Um, and no other orc culture independent, and you must be the cult of the Dark Flame. So it says there you are of the cult of the Dark Flame faith. You must be, the level of devotion must be at least paragon of virtue, and I have to be involved in the struggle. So we're gonna have to move our capital into Moria, and we're gonna have to remove all independent vassals, plus the dwarves that have settled here. So that's gonna be a thing. Now, Rohan. Rohan is allied to the United Kingdom and to Galadriel. This is a problem. This is a big problem. Who are you allied to? You have a truce. What truce does Galadriel have? None. So we may get invaded here. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna declare a war for his kingdom, for the High Lordship of Lebanon, because we want to block Sauron from getting access to these, I think. Even if Sauron takes Gondor, I don't think they'll have enough troops to win against Key. They simply do not have them. Even if they expand in here, I think Sauron at this point is kind of a lost cause. We're sort of in a race to see how many troops we can get from whom. But let's invade the High Lordship of Lebanon. We'll raise our troops. Here should be fine. Which reminds me, does this increase the counter here? I think it just did. So that is a problem as well. These allies have joined in. Let's separate the siege towers. And we do have a holy altar, not very big, but we'll grab it. We're gonna make our way down south, and hopefully we don't get invaded by Galadriel. Bustling colony in Broken Respite. That's not going to grow any further. Let's get a construction guild in here. And on that note, let's get them in here as well. It is a question if we'll be able to settle Moria or not. These buildings do add to the counter for the Balrog, which might end up being a problem. But remember all the good times. We are close to Primogenitura. And we have an adventure. What is our marshal doing? Let's make money. What is your fighting skill? It's good enough. I'll pay for it. You want a pony. Probably to eat it. Study now, pony later. We don't need to reassert the holy mission. It is completely pointless. And we've built the legendary shrine. Nah, just go away. Something unique, please. Fight the giant bear. These places are actually quite well fortified. Let's execute it immediately. So there we go. He's now dead as well. We cannot try to murder him again for a while. But yeah, we'll see how we can handle Key. I have some doubts that we can beat them in any meaningful way. Not with that many men-at-arms. And unfortunately, we don't have an option like they do to turn to administrative realm. The thing with the administrative realm is that it has some weaknesses as well, in the sense that it suffers from quite a few rebellions. So we can try and run a chain of assassinations on it and see what that does. Hopefully it destabilizes enough that we can take territories away from them. Okay. So let's arrange a marriage for you. Preferably with someone within your age gap. You will do. No, we're not gonna do that. Let's see. We're getting close to Scholar now. We're gonna grab the Theologian one as well. Just to try and resolve the Balrog situation. How is this going? This can be finalized. And we'll grant it to you. And we'll start developing you. There you go. And can we colonize this? We can. We can see we're already suffering from the fact that we don't have access to great siege engines. It takes a while to siege these places down. We're gonna marry you matrilineally, and you're gonna marry preferably someone with just beautiful and Intelligent will do. Right, 12 and 16, 21, 20. Yeah, these are all well protected. What about you? You're 20. It is unfortunate, but we're gonna have to try and siege these down. Where is your army though, dude? That's where your army is. So that's 16,000 and that's another 40,000. March in there and try and win this combat for us, please. We already have this game. Okay. I was not expecting that. Can you catch them? No. Can you catch them here? So there we go, we have Primogenitura. We can go for standing armies. Can we change the succession law now? We can. So, that just solved the succession issues. We no longer have the issues of the domain splitting up. Where is the castle? Go siege that down. You. You need to be developed, so we're gonna be there a while. Intelligent and beautiful. Well, actually, intelligent and Herculean would be better. There you go. We're gonna take it apart and study it. There goes Ancient Crossing. And that's what I was afraid of. So, coming down from their hidden and lofty halls, the elves under Galadriel now march upon us, desiring to remove what they see as a fell threat. It is principally our faith, cult of the Dark Flame, that arrays them against us, as they perceive in it the worship of their oldest foes. If we sincerely repented and rejected the faith of the cult of the Dark Flame, then they would surely show leniency and mercy. Yeah, okay. Of course, such a betrayal of the faith would surely result in angering many. We don't even have the option to take that away. Let the undying come and no death. So, what are you actually declaring war on me for? For the war camp of Warnelath. Okay. Well, that is unfortunate, because that means we're gonna have to fight them. We can see if we can win the conflict first. Eladan has joined. We can try and see if we can win this first, but I have some serious doubts. How long until you siege this? 15 days and 55 days. We should be able to do this. Sell everything and march. No, thank you. We're at 85%. %92%. 94. Right, this has been done. This has been done. This has been done. Okay, this should be fine. %97%. What do we have to do for an extra 3%? Siege that quickly. This should do. We have an inspiration. Let's see. You want a fortune, so no. You want to write a magnificent book. Write it about the dynasty, that's fine. You want to forge regalia and your legendary. We'll take it for 200, that's fine. Let's investigate lead to gold. We could get chronic headaches here. And what would that do again? Health moderate penalty for 20 years. Our health is fine. So we should be fine even with that. Without incident, which is what we wanted. Let's marry you off to him. We've won this. So we can start moving north. Here should do fine, but not through there, please. Okay. Through there it is. Let's destroy all these artifacts. You can be repaired, that's fine. And I assume we have some more. Not that one, the small one. Yes, we do. Whoa. Okay. And we need to give some of these away. We're also gonna need to take away these duchies. We can delay this by a minute, but I'm gonna pause, I think, and start to give these out. We do have Pelargir. Do we get any decisions or anything? No. Okay. Um, I'm going to pause. I'm gonna find people to give these to, and I'll be right back. So there we go. I'm just waiting for this gentleman to come here. Let's put a pin in him for now. And we can already see we have a problem with the amount of vassals we have. We'll demand a seaweed tax. There's no need for a dedication, that's fine. And here he is. These have holy orders. This one does not. So let's give him the one that doesn't have holy orders. We'll keep the ones that do have holy orders because we're gonna want to remove them. But yeah, already we have a problem with the number of vassals we have, so I think it's time we start to give out some of these kingdoms. For starters, we can give him the kingdom of East Angmar. That is fine. So that should take this off from there. And now we just have to hope that we can get back in time for the Elvish invasion. So we just got a bit of gold and another perk, so we can take Scholar now. We are over the domain, but we're gonna fix that relatively quick. So how's the Balrog situation here? It's quickly heading towards Armageddon, which is not good. And I genuinely don't know if we're gonna make it back in time to fight the elves. It looks like we might not. You need someone intelligent and strong. That will do. We also took a world, I think. Let's have a look. Did we not? He is traveling. So I've had a, while searching, I had a look to see what's going on with the family tree. And our heir here, his first son died. And his second son is a eunuch who only has daughters. So that's a problem. This son here has a son, the only one, who would also be a good candidate to strengthen the bloodline with. They're having good children as well. So we're probably gonna choose our heir later on because I don't want to inherit with the eunuch. We're in big problems here. We're gonna need to. Nah. Uh, 15 days is actually not that long. Just siege it. $450. Fine, we'll pay. That's not a bad book, actually. We'll grab Faithful here. We do have good weapons, but I'm gonna make one. We'll have who to give it to. And we can take a new Dynasty Legacy and we can finally get our private army done. Which means everyone in the dynasty will have access to private army, which means they will as well. More importantly, that unlocks an extra army slot. We could recruit house guards. They target spearmen and archers, which is not a bad combination, but their stats are not that much better than the Black Uruks. I know it says 14 and 23 and theirs says 40 and 36, but remember this is a stack of 100 and this is a stack of 200. So effectively their stats are double. This would be 28 and 46 basically. They still look better though. Black Uruks do get some bonuses. They're nothing special though. I think the House Guard might be better. But we're probably going to recruit Caragors at this point. We do need them. So let's do that. And we're gonna station them somewhere. For now in there, but we'll recheck all of that because Arathind is not built for cavalry. And forgot to empty my prison. Right, you need to make it back here. No, not for there, please. Let's get him an instructor. Aspiring blade masters are good, and I am willing to spend for it. Right, we can start on sieging our own stuff now, which is good. We need to do that desperately. Right, we have the boy we wanted to teach. You're gonna become an assassin. I'm sorry, but you're not going to be a fighter. And we're gonna teach his brother as well. And the rest of you can just go for hooks. Or conversions, I don't particularly care. Who are you? You are nobody. That's actually not a bad one. Could have been worse. We will match your funding. So let's see if we can yeah, that's not exactly what I was after game, but okay. Let's see if we can beat Galadriel's army and Rohan's. Because that's what it is we're fighting here. We have to heal the horse. Apparently we cannot. He'll do. So we caught Rohan's army here. Leave him alone. Right, we managed to beat that. I'm half tempted to just kill them all at this point. But we won't. We do have some events in court. Let's see. Ah, yes, the book probably. Please unsiege. That's actually quite a good one. Even the levy reinforcement rate is that's a good item. Right, we need to marry you matrilineally. And I think we still have time to unsiege these two. How are we for time? We still have some. We're good. Where is the colonial effort? We can fund this delving. Congratulations, it's yours. Please don't die from the Balrog. That would be very, very sad. So you have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We still need to colonize a bit. You can develop this one. And while we're here, we can actually summon the Karagors. You want the city of Emin-Meth. That's fine. Have you finished taking this? You have. don't like that they're re-sieging the south, but we have to reconquer this place. That will do. We'll get rid of the special troops and we'll bring you in here. Okay. So my son has a rival now, which might be a bit unhealthy for him. We'll see how that behaves later. We will have to resolve our vassals in here. Whatever, dude, just stop being my friend. We'll focus on earthly matters. Who are you? We should be able to win this. We now have categories as well. Intelligent and Herculean preferably. You will do. Let the unsieging series begin. So how much would you pay me if I enforce demands? 3,000. I mean, we do have money, that's not exactly the problem, but we do want her to lose that money. We can extort subjects, let's do that. So about you sieging all my stuff, can you please stop that? We have a new learning perk, let's continue down with the perks. Summon the physician. We captured Lord Eladan of the Noldor. Goodbye. So that means there's no more Elvish claims on this. So that's done. Let's siege this as well. You're gonna have to marry matrilineally. She will do. And there we go. We won that conflict. Let's have a look at the holy orders. So that one needs to go. You know what? I'm just gonna pause while I do this. So I've removed the holy orders, and now we have the problem of removing the vassals here. Let's start with right. We gave you that. Where is the capital? That's where the capital is. Okay. Well, that's a problem that we gave him the capital, but I can't really fix it now. He can have this land though. Where is your capital? I gave you the capital as well, haven't I? Oh no, you're holding it. Okay. So we can give him this. And we can raise our military and we can start withdrawing these titles. It's gonna take a minute to summon all of them. How are our colonies? A while to go is the answer to that. We may simply have too many vassals to be able to colonize Moria, because if everyone is building, then we're not exactly going to be able to colonize anything in Moria without the Balrog going nuts. But we're going to try. Hopefully we succeed. We can now revoke your title. Naturally, you will not accept. But that's fine. You're all going to rebel, and I'm gonna siege you all down and take your stuff. Lothlorien now has a truce. So they're not gonna attack me anytime soon. Let's attack these armies. You want a hook, you can have a hook, I don't particularly mind. Let's sort by age, actually. You know what, I don't even care, just marry her, it's fine. So there goes their armies. The art of rhetoric. Yeah, no, pay attention. Sure, right about diplomacy. That was a misclick. I don't even know who that was. I think it was a human, but I'm not entirely sure. But that was a misclick. Sure, to Kadak. By age, please. Sure, marry him. You choose your muse. And we'll try and siege this down and intercept that army. Hopefully this will be enough to put down this rebellion and start taking away stuff. Well, there we go. I'm not even gonna bother with all of that. We're just gonna settle the conflict now. So you can lose your stuff. And you can renounce your claims. We'll need to take away their stuff as well. We have the duchy title. Apparently it did not change icon, which is a disappointing thing. I thought for sure it might change, but it did not. Let's take away your stuff. Can we ransom you? Yeah, we can. Yeah, I think I'm gonna pause and I'm gonna get you back in here once I've done all of this, because this is gonna be tedious. So I'll be right back. So there we go. I gave this to the son, one of the sons of this duke here. He's gonna become the new duke, but not quite yet. We will create this duchy, and we're gonna give it to this gentleman here with all the territories in it, and he can do whatever he wants with it. Can we actually arrange a marriage, maybe? You should do fine. Right, we have vassal problems again. At this point, I don't particularly mind giving away this kingdom title. We'll give it to you. Who is holding this? Why are you the liege? You should not be the liege. Let's retract the vassal here. Let's unpause for a second. This is from emptying my prisons. Right. We do need to assassinate him. Defending against what? Of the United Kingdom. So you're fighting for that. We need to assassinate you though, because he's allied with Galadriel. You can be convinced. How about I give you my prestigious word? My fruit taster can be convinced. 50 is not much, we'll accept that. And we need to raise our military. How is this war? 66,000 versus 50,000. We might be able to succeed, we'll see. We'll raise our military again, because we have more vassals to mess about with. We'll consult with more flame keepers. You should have accepted this, so let's give you this vassal. Hold on. What do you call it? Just that one? That's fine. So we'll grant you this vassal. And more than that, we're gonna grant you the kingdom title as well. You're gonna be this one. So that should take some vassals off of us. My daughter is a leper, which is unfortunate. Yes, I'll accept that. More marriages happening. We'll sell trivial titles. No, I'm not gonna give you a hook. You'll be fine without it. This will suffice. And let's keep just the siege towers and we'll disband the rest. So whose territory do we still need to take? Yours. Naturally, you're probably going to refuse, but we'll see. You may accept. He accepted. But we have more to take. So we'll take it. You won't accept though. So what did you give me here? We can cancel this because this is gonna go away anyway. We're awaiting a response. Okay, let's await the response. There goes the war. Yeah, I'll let him go, that's fine. Can we not ransom some more? There we go, that should close all of that. You can go to randomer and we can start revoking these. And we can cancel that. Right, so we can steal this duchy now. So we have the war camp and this is the head of the duchy. So we can replace this with orc barracks and we can give you the entire thing now. We're gonna have to keep an eye on this conflict here because we might have to intervene in it. And basically, we might have to attack for the same thing. Can we look at someone closer to your age, please? She'll do. Matrilineally will be fine. Just leave him alone, please. He's already losing the war, which is bad. We might have to intervene in this conflict so that we take this entire kingdom. We lost an agent. That's not good. We can convince you though. We'll oversee the rebuilding of the colony. Have efficient repairs. We have an adventurer. Yeah, you're good enough. Go. Right, what are our colonies doing? You can be founded and we can switch you to the next one. Let's take you on. I'm gonna have to give this to someone, but we'll have a look at that in a moment. We can close this conflict. And I'm gonna take away their stuff. I'll pause and I'll be right back. So I've taken their stuff as well, gave it to this orc here. We're gonna have to take this, and we still have this duchy to take off of them. But I'm gonna stop the episode here. We still need to give away this delving and look at the rest of the delvings as well. I'm not sure what the Balrog situation is. He is almost at Armageddon, which is not great. But we're gonna stop here regardless. We might have to intervene in this conflict and take away the kingdom of Anorian. I don't think we can attack Anfalas, not yet at least, nor Pinath Gelen for obvious reasons. We're gonna have to take this away and Dol Amroth first. And the rest of the holdings before we can get to Pinath Gelen. It is good to see that Mordor still has an army worth a damn, but it's nowhere near compared to theirs. I know it doesn't say it's as big as it looked before, but they can summon all of their duchy armies, and this is extremely dangerous, but we'll see how we can manage it. Anyway, please do leave a comment, throw me a like, a subscribe. I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye for now.